Well, when I think of the scariest movie villains of all time, it's Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Maureen McGovern. For a few years, I've been reviewing bad Christmas specials on my movie matchup blog at Colin Watches Movies, and this year I'm taking the reviews to YouTube along with some friends. Some will be reviews of specials that are new to me, others will be returning to some old least favorites. And today you get two guests for the price of one because we have some lie, cheat, and steal favorites here with us. It's Liz and Ian. Hello.
Hi.
I didn't know we were favorites. That's cool.
Yeah.
All the comments. More Liz and Ian, please.
Yes. Obviously.
I didn't realize my mom comments so much on those videos.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the username is not Ian's mom 3.
That checks out. That makes sense.
Conveniently enough, that's also my username.
I thought yours was Ian is a butt 3.
That's my alt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Today we watched the 1984 Christmas special, A Christmas Dream, with Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis and a bunch of other creepy surprises. And of all the ones I reviewed, this is one of the most obscure because it only exists on like a VHS copy from 1984.
Right.
It never re-aired.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen very few reviews of it, in that if you search for it on Google, on the first page, you get my review of it.
Hey,
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, good for you. That's
I bet
incredible.
Mr. T is seething.
Yes.
I think he's calm now, isn't he? Then he like stopped being that way.
No, I don't know if he stopped being that way, but he's in some like furniture rental ads.
He is.
Yes, I get that on Spotify way too much.
It is hilarious. Just angrily popping out of washer dryers.
I mean, I do think that this was the calmest I've seen him in anything.
I would not say calm. I would say sedated.
Yeah.
Because I do not think he was physically comfortable this whole time. And
certainly not.
You
could tell from all the hand rubbing as he talked about Jesus.
Oh my God.
Well, I believe he is like a serious born again Christian. I think it's why he wanted to do this.
I mean, that would make sense. But also, I mean, I wasn't alive in the 80s, but my understanding is that he did a special for literally everything. Like, that is what the 80s would have me believe, is that he had a special for the 4th of July. He had a special for, like, dental implants. He had a special for couches. Like,
hold on, wait, what is this
everything.
Progression of events?
It's just chronological.
Nate, is this starring couches or for couches who are watching?
Is this couches who received dental implants from Mr. T?
Yes. It was couches who demanded more representation in movies.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like in Scrooge when his boss wants programming just for cats.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we should have that though. Like,
they have it now. They have Pet Channel.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, this was half Mr. T monologuing about Jesus and half New York City tourism ad.
Yes. I did find it very funny that literally every scene was, hey, we're going to go to my famous friends and watch them do the thing they're famous for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am friends with every Rockette.
Oh, right,
yes.
right.
As you
Tina
well know.
Rockette, Sarah Rockette.
Yeah.
That's actually funny because in the town where I work, there's a family called the Rockets. Like the vehicle? Rocket? That's a vehicle.
I mean,
space vehicle.
Yeah, space vehicle.
Sure.
What else am I supposed to call it? It's a vehicle. Okay.
Space tool.
Yeah, space tool.
Space tool. That's
which is Elon Musk's name.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nice.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Yeah. So, did this feel like it was at least partially recorded live? Like they were just.
It did.
It felt like they were literally recording it from their VCR.
Well,
but I mean, like the actual acting was live. It felt like to me.
Yeah.
It
felt like it was recording on SNL.
Oh,
but
not only was it live.
Yeah.
Not only do I think it was live, I think they did not edit out any background noise, nor did they tell anyone in those areas they were filming.
Leo Schwartz was busy.
Yeah, I imagine if they did tell FAO Schwartz that they were going to be filming, they probably got a very angry store manager being like, I can't close my store on Christmas.
Yeah.
Just, we'll give you a corner, but we're not giving you the escalator. You're going to hear some mulling about.
Yeah.
I had figured maybe that part was pre-recorded, but like everything else, the staged parts felt very live because the readings were not good.
No, not at all.
But it was over some lines.
It was all once they got to that part, once they get to where the Rockettes are and then the lady singing.
Yeah.
Those were all just scenes to get to the thing that they want to perform.
Well, it turned into a variety show at that point.
Right.
Which is fine.
If it wasn't before.
I mean, if it wasn't before, it certainly was now.
Well, because also my probably most genuine question is, was that actually the mayor of New York at the time?
Yes, that was Ed Koch.
That actually was?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The only time Ed Koch is seen giving to charity.
Yes. When the camera's pointing at him. And he still doesn't make like the bottom 3 New York mayors of all time.
Right.
And he was awesome.
But how does he feel about ferrets?
The important questions for a New York mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the opening scene is Mr. T is playing, the character's name is Benny. They say it twice and that he's just Mr. T.
He's Mr. T.
Yeah, he's Mr. T.
Mr. T is a street Santa who meets a child and says, hey, I'm going to show you what Christmas is all about. Let me take you around town, which nothing's creepy about that.
Is the kid an orphan?
No.
Because he had parents in the end, but he starts off being like, oh, I don't have any friends or family or any family. And Mr. T is like, oh, I don't have any family either. I just have friends.
Yeah. No, he said at the beginning, I thought he was an orphan. And then later when they're riding in the carriage, he goes,
then he goes like,
I'm
my
a
parents
latchkey kid.
Right.
I'm like, all right. Okay. So your parents just worked full time.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Yeah.
But that makes it even worse that this non-orphan is just stolen away from a Santa Claus who wants him to go with him to get changed.
Yeah, and it only gets creepier.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's that's the least bad part of it. Come on, little boy. Oh, your parents aren't around? Let's go on an adventure. I'm going to take you to a party, an adults party.
I don't think that was an adults party.
Well,
yeah. Well, I think it was a kids party, and he used the same line on all of those kids because he even says to like the puppeteer at one point, I don't want this one to get away.
Yeah, that was I don't want to lose another one. Like, what?
Yeah.
My theory.
Oh my God.
My theory is that every kid in that choir was brought there under the same pretense, and then they're made to say what their favorite Christmas song is and perform it. And if they pass, then they get into the choir. Yeah. Emmanuel Lewis did not pass his audition, so he got to see his parents.
So it's like the Vienna Boys Choir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think we're jumping ahead of it, though.
It's okay.
Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for anyone watching. There's a choir.
Just slice that in at the end.
I have a wild theory too, but yeah, it's very disturbing. But yeah, in the opening minutes, the mayor walks by, publicly deposits some money, and says, "Hi, Benny," because he knows him apparently.
Yeah,
random shoehorn cameo, and then he walks away because that was meaningful. And then he says, then Santa says, "Let me go change my clothes."
Right.
Was I the one who noticed this? That he changes off with another Santa in public, like take over my shift. Wouldn't that confuse some kids?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, but the other thing that I didn't understand with the child's character, he is a 60-year-old curmudgeon disguised as a 6-year-old.
I think that's Emmanuel Lewis's entire career.
Is it? I know nothing about him.
He was 13 at the time.
He was 13?
He's playing about 8, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on Webster at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought he was in like elementary school.
Yeah, he looked like that. He still kind of does.
Wow.
Well, you did keep saying this is the most articulate 6-year-old I've ever seen.
I did say that a lot.
He was kind of like Macaulay Culkin in that he was just always very ahead of the character he was playing. Like he was smarter than the adults.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They loved that in the 80s and 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then Mr. T says, "Okay, I'll go change. You go walk into this toy store by yourself at Christmas time and quote, I'll meet you in the magic area," which
Yeah.
I did love him walking around FAO Schwartz though, and the director constantly reminding him like, no, like you like it, it's good here, like no, this is good.
I like that he sees the robot about to fall and he's like, oh, that's gonna be a mess.
Just like twist it around.
Yeah.
Solid 60-second commercial for FAO Schwartz, just walking around.
Which I do have to say, my parents were actually really obsessed with when I was growing up. So when they had FAO Schwartz, because it's been closed for quite a few years now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw it, I was like, oh, FAO Schwartz. And then they went to the magic section. And I was like, I don't think that's there.
No.
But I also have no idea.
No.
I think when these people saw Big come out a couple years later, like totally stole our whole thing. Now they get the FAO Schwartz commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
but did Big have David Copperfield being
the person
really
he is in
interested?
Real life?
Well, yeah, just playing himself.
Yeah.
Hey, little girl, I got a broken heart. Can you help?
Yeah.
Yes,
What?
David Copperfield pops up, and he did not make his allegations disappear, but
No.
So he's showing a little girl a magic trick. Also, no idea where her parents are.
Well, also, I love that the movie starts off with a child whose parents are mysteriously disappeared. He gets kidnapped by a Santa Claus, and now we teach heartbreak to a 6-year-old girl.
Well, she already said he asks, "Are you married?" She says no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a boyfriend? She says yes.
Yeah.
So I presume that she's about to experience heartbreak.
Right.
So he's just preparing her. And all heartbreak is taking a piece of paper and tearing it in 4.
And then putting it back together.
Yes, that's the whole thing. People make a huge deal out of it, but it's like
really just a piece of paper ripping. Yeah.
As long as it's incredibly close to your face and done by an adult.
Right.
Yes. Now it's creepy that he is having this conversation with a 6-year-old girl, but the David Copperfield's current partner was actually born after this girl.
What?
Yes. Yeah, it's creepy.
I could have done without that detail.
Man.
And he also insists that he doesn't do magic, he does illusions, which just makes you think he's jokes.
Yes.
Yeah, I made that joke while we were watching it too.
Those parents also don't have time for his illusions.
Right.
And then so he goes away and then shows Emmanuel Lewis a trick with a cigarette.
So I brought this up with Liz too, that why okay, he's David Copperfield. He has a whole array of different close-up magic tricks. And it at least seemed to me that this was the time in history where we finally decided that cigarettes are bad. And the company that made this, I presume, knew that, which is why he had to say, oh, I don't smoke. This is just for the magic trick. But why not just pick a different trick?
Yeah, I don't smoke. This jerk does.
Yeah.
It's his cigarette.
Yeah.
I know how to light it. I'm going to blow smoke in what is meant to be an 8-year-old child's face.
Yes.
For magic, though.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm also going to burn a hole in his money. Oh, sorry. It's for an illusion.
Yeah.
I'm not actually blowing smoke in a child's face. It's an illusion.
Right.
It's all, cigarette smoke and mirrors. Oh.
Yes. This illusion is giving him secondhand smoke.
Yes, it added nothing to the plot except here's a guy we meet later.
Right. Well, but the plot was literally how do we string together these events with famous people?
Right. We have the guest stars. Now we have to write something around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course you hear what everyone wants to hear from David Copperfield, which is see you later at the party.
Yes.
This kid doesn't even know about the party yet.
Oh yeah. Right. And of course, what's going to excite a child more than seeing Copperfield again?
So how did this planning stage work? Did Mr. T did Mr. T just say, hey, there's gonna be a kid coming up at some point today, just lure them into the party, or what?
Right.
I imagine it's on a rotation. I mean, they had the whole choir to fill. It's been like a week-long process.
I was thinking maybe he called him from changing into his Santa suit. He called Copperfield, all right, it's coming up.
Right. Well, they just sort of made it seem like FAO Schwartz keeps him on retainer. Like he's just hanging out there during the day, and then he goes off and does magic shows at night.
Oh, what an amazing true thing that would be.
I know, right?
Oh, that would be an absolute delight. During just day to day, he gets really close to children's faces and
Yes.
asks weird questions. Like, hey kid, do you smoke? This is a complete aside, but I also enjoyed that literally right in the opening they showed that Mr. T was using a bell that didn't work. I'm like, how did you like
Don't add those sound effects in. Yeah.
Mhm.
like you can like it's a bell. You can literally use a Salvation Army bell.
We already have so much background noise. We can't deal with more noise.
That's true. That's
the city
true.
background noise was so loud.
it was intense.
It was most of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
New York is the main character in Sex and the City.
Yes.
It was too in A Christmas Dream.
Right.
It was also weird when Mr. T died from riding a Peloton.
That would have been.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
So then he's like, "You're gonna go take a handsome cab ride with this creepy man you met on the street." And he's like, "Yay!"
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to a secondary location now.
Yes.
Right.
So they take a cab ride, and Mr. T
Mhm.
talks about how he had it tough growing up. And what's the kid's name? I don't know. Kid says-
Emmanuel Lewis.
Emmanuel Lewis. No, what's the character's name?
I think it was like Billy
or Timmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy. One of those.
Yeah.
Teddy says that his parents, they're not dead. They're just working.
Yeah.
They're not dead. They just let me wander around. I'm like, all right.
I made the note. Thought this kid was an orphan. Nope, just working class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also, we all just managed to skip over this kid wandering alone in the streets, and
Yeah.
Mr. T
Yeah.
says he has a BA, a bad attitude.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, this
Totally
is
skipped over that.
clearly a small child who isn't
Oh my God.
happy about Christmas, and maybe it's because he's wandering New York City streets
Yeah.
by himself.
Yes.
Why isn't he in school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it isn't really clear
It could be Saturday.
how close this actually is to Christmas. Because I
Right.
feel like all Christmas movies make it seem like it is Christmas or Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
True.
So-
when there would be a winter break, presumably.
Right, this
It
could be
could also
Christmas
be
Eve.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
nondescript time.
Right.
I was
middle
going to say,
of
are
the
that would be
day.
people shopping on Christmas Eve? But yes, of course they are. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm usually one of those people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he takes him to, well, there's a quick ice skating montage because they wanted to get those people in, apparently.
Sure. They were in
It was
town.
1984, Olympics.
I
And
just
then-
figured they had nothing else to do.
Yeah. After that, he takes him to Radio City Music Hall, where what's the one thing that could make this creepier? Ventriloquism.
Puppets. Yes.
Oh my god. A ventriloquist doll who had no business or time for his shit as
No.
well.
Yeah.
Like, what do you know about Christmas? You're a dummy. You're a dummy. Fuck you.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Bitch, what are you doing calling me a dummy?
And I just imagine this is the guy working the box office at Radio City Music Hall. Is he holding up every single customer? Like, wait, talk to the dummy. Let's see if he lets you in.
With
Each
two puppets.
Each
With
trans
two different puppets that he
With-
just had ready to go.
with like reporting structure
Yeah.
as well. One of the puppets is the boss of the other puppet.
Yes. Right.
And
Yeah. There's a chain of management
yeah, of course.
amongst the puppets.
And
Mhm.
also, they both receive Christmas gifts, which is the gift of each other, which is not a gift.
No.
That's not. I'm the gift.
Objectively not a gift.
Yeah.
What'd you get for Christmas? What do you mean? I got him. I got sentience.
Mhm. Right.
But also,
Well,
Mr.
then what did
T,
he get? He got an outlet for his transgressions.
But also, Mr. T holds the kid up like he's a ventriloquist doll,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is creepy
That was
and
really
ties into my
strange.
theory.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah, he has the first doll, which is just a regular ventriloquist doll. I mean, it's creepy. But then he has a
Yeah.
Mr. T ventriloquist doll,
Yes.
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 which in universe means he has a doll of a random Salvation Army employee.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, you would look great covered in necklaces.
Yeah, like
and,
a straight up pharaoh.
Yeah.
With a mohawk.
With just every single piece of gold in New York City at that time around that puppet. And he says, "Do you pity him?"
Yeah.
It was something.
He says fool.
He said fool.
Fool. Yeah.
Because I was waiting for Mr. T to say I pity the fool, and it never happened, which I was incredibly disappointed.
I know.
He was probably trying to break out.
I guess so.
Because can't be typecast.
Everybody there had a scene showing off like their skill, basically. You had like the magician scene, the ventriloquist scene, all that kind of stuff. And so I was like waiting for Mr. T because I was like, he doesn't really have like I don't want to say this. He doesn't have like a particular skill.
No,
his skill is just kind of being Mr. T. So I was like, if you have to be at the same level of these people, you have to say like you pity something. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Because that's the thing you do, and everyone else is here doing the thing they do. So like, I was just kind of waiting for it, and I was pretty let down.
Well, he became famous he won a bouncing competition, like bar bouncing.
What?
It's like being a bouncer.
How do you?
What? How do you?
It was a competition, and he just like walked right through a door and knocked it down. Like that's the strongest guy. He wins.
Oh my God.
Wait, what are the rules?
What's the point structure for this?
I have to look it up now. I've heard this secondhand. I have to look it up now.
I thought bouncer was about like keeping people out, not literally breaking down the door.
Well, if they get bad, I guess. Let's see.
Yeah, then you just break the door over them.
Yes, he won the contest on NBC of America's Toughest Bouncer.
What?
Okay.
Which included breaking through a nearly 5-foot wooden door.
Great.
Oh my God.
Great. Excellent.
But he didn't do that on this.
No.
Which makes me even more disappointed now that I knew that was a possibility.
I need to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, ventriloquism, it's like, okay, we have creepy magician, creepy street Santa abducting children. Throw in ventriloquism.
Yeah.
I violently hate ventriloquist dummies.
You do.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just why?
Who thought that was a good idea ever?
I mean, they're constantly in a state of, I guess, what you would look like if someone was fisting your butt. That look of shock of like, oh my God.
Like I understand puppet shows. Like that's an art form I get. But I'm assuming ventriloquism came from a guy who was such an insufferable asshole that he couldn't find a comedy partner.
Oh yeah.
So he built one.
I mean, it's like he needs an outlet. And I do mean he needs an outlet to say something horrible.
Yes.
But make it look like it's someone else saying it. And so he can be like, oh, you can't say that. That's not nice.
Well, like insulting the intelligence of a child.
Yeah, exactly. It's Jeff Dunham's career. It's calling, it's the way to insult Emmanuel Lewis by saying you're an insufferable.
Yeah.
You're an insufferable little kid.
Right.
Yeah. And he's like, well, you're just made of wood.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Insult him right back. I love it.
But Mr. T tells the ventriloquist, the guy working the front desk, first of all, this is the kid I told you about. But when?
Yes.
When?
He specifically said, I was waiting for it. He specifically said, this is the kid I called you about earlier. I don't know how he called him in the early 80s, but he somehow found a way to call this guy.
I presume he found a payphone while the FAO Schwartz commercial was happening.
That's my guess.
Yeah. Or he just was stalking this kid for weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
Because it did seem like they had a plan of what to do with this kid. Where, they started interrogating him. They asked him about his dad's phone number.
Yeah.
Which is one of the creepiest things you can ask a kid.
They asked him so many personal questions.
And he correctly is like, why do you need my dad's phone number?
Yeah. And they're like, just give it to us.
Well, if you fell asleep and hurt yourself, we have to call him. It's like, well, then you'd give it to him then.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, he was very on top of it, honestly.
Right.
He was like, strangers shouldn't be asking me for my parents' phone number.
I feel
that's weird.
If the goal truly was to just get this kid in touch with his parents again, it would have been super easy when he was at the thing ringing the bell to just be like, dude, where are your parents?
Yeah.
Like, let's stick around here because you clearly are walking distance from where you live. Let's like get you back home.
Yeah.
Yes. There literally is the mayor of the city. He can put you in touch with somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can get you in contact with literally anyone in the city.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And yeah, this is the one I told you about. And then he said when he sends him back to the dressing room, just go back to a random actress's dressing room. Just open the door.
Also, oh man. So first of all, like how many people want to be in changing rooms with this child? Like that made me very uncomfortable.
Look, it's
didn't
fine.
change
She
in
had
front
a
of him
robe
earlier.
on.
She had a robe.
She had a robe. It's fine.
I was curious how many people actually have a baby grand in their dressing room? How common is that really?
I mean, she's very good.
Well, yes, but
At what?
yeah.
At really pressuring a kid to be like, please let me sing for you. What song do you like? And he's like, I don't know. I don't like any songs. He's like, well, that can't be right.
Yeah, music must be as important to you as it is to me.
Yeah, no, I'm an amazing singer. You must want to listen to me. He's like, not really.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was Maureen McGovern. He sends her back to Maureen McGovern's dressing room and says, she's going to sing to you now. And she has the scariest singing style I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like right up in your face, like, I am going to eat this child.
Right.
I think what she was trying to emulate was drugged up Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Which
for the other songs.
I love. I love Judy Garland regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what she grew up on. And then was like, oh, that's how people perform. I'm like, oh, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. We already loved her and we accepted it when it started happening. It's not. Mercifully, though, she did leave the door open, which I initially was like, close that. Actually, no, please keep that open.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, she's going to rehearse some songs for the show multiple times. And then all the songs she rehearsed, she never actually sang at the party.
Of course.
Thankfully, because I don't want to hear them again. But yeah.
Yeah.
And she sings some weird songs for him being 8 years old.
That was my other thought. She picks like a slow ballad to get an 8-year-old interested in Christmas. Come on.
And then she sings Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow right to his face.
Yeah.
Like, really hold me tight. Yeah, okay, that's not creepy.
Right. Well, I guess this is after the Rockettes, but I did love her ability to go straight from scatting directly into lyrics. That was jarring. That really took me aback, like very badly.
But the scatting didn't make sense thematically as well. It was like
it came out of nowhere.
Well, first it was like, I mean, you said, does she do any songs faster than 40 BPM?
Yes.
And then
she kicked it up.
She kicked it up to like 45.
Yeah, it was good.
But like then, like with somewhat quick scatting, like 2.5 octaves up, doing high C's a couple times, then going back to like
just normal singing.
Mezzo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you don't.
I think she's just so much of a diva that she can't deal with an instrumental break. So she has to be singing at all times throughout the song.
I think so too.
Like in her contract, it says that she gets to hit several high C's.
Yeah.
A certain duration of vibrato, just all out, which means she cannot have any upbeat songs.
Yeah.
No, this needs to be full Broadway crooner.
Right.
Regardless of how inappropriate it is.
The kind of singing that might work like on stage from far away, but the camera was right up in her face and you just saw her gaping mouth.
Yeah.
Right. It was a lot, especially with like the weird quality that we had. Yeah. It just looks like this gaping void in the middle of a face.
Yeah.
But you don't really get the details of the face.
Yeah. Something that you said that I loved was when she made like the O vowel, the way that the quality was made it look like a lowercase I. but like it's separated, so there was the dot. Like it was
very professional.
It was very jarring.
Yeah.
Well, when I think of the scariest movie villains of all time, it's, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Maureen McGovern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just.
Oh man.
I love that they called all the child laborers stagehands.
Yes.
Yes. Well, before that, there's he goes into the main stage, and there's people practicing to be the Rockettes, and he falls asleep and dreams of just the regular Rockette show.
So is that what it was? Were they like almost auditioning to be Rockettes?
I thought it was a rehearsal.
I thought it was
rehearsal.
too.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't understand, why would you have a scene if you have the Rockettes where a child is so bored seeing them, he has to dream of something better.
He visibly yawned.
Yes.
He was asleep for most of it, which you knew because you got floating heads of him above them for like most of the show.
Yeah, and then randomly some other head at the very end that
that was still his head.
That was still his head?
Yeah, that was him as one of the like dressed up marching people.
Oh,
he dreamed he was in the Rockettes for a short second.
Yeah. But he like the way that it was cut was really weird, where he's like sleeping and then just all of a sudden he has like the rosy cheeks and the hat, but only for like maybe less than a second. So you just see that pop.
I thought it was just some other random doll head, and I jumped.
Keep in mind, this is called A Christmas Dream. It's referencing this.
I really hope that wasn't the Christmas Dream, because that's building up to nothing there.
That was so long.
Yeah.
And so the Rockettes are all in the toy soldier garb, and they're doing their thing with the diagonal lines and like synchronized moving. And then like a PowerPoint slideshow of his head.
Yeah.
And it's the most boring example of any production, including school plays, that they could have possibly picked. Like I personally am also just not a fan of the Rockettes in general, but they could have done something that wasn't literally walking, and something that should have like been filmed like from the ceiling, so like you could actually see like the formations they were doing, because it just looked like straight and diagonal lines.
It's like, oh, look at them all in a line. Isn't that what kids dream of?
Right. I mean, they didn't even do the kicks either. The thing that they're like known to do.
Well, that would have had an upbeat song, and that's not allowed.
You're right. There were no upbeat songs.
No upbeat songs, but in the dream that he had, Emmanuel Lewis said, "This is terrible. I'm going to bring out a cannon."
Yes.
And shoot all of them dead in a domino. And then he's going to salute the audience like he did us a favor. And he did.
Yeah.
Sorry for the hiccup.
Yes. It's a good important dream to name your Christmas special after.
Yeah.
Was that actually the Christmas Dream?
Well, what else would it have been?
Seeing his parents.
I mean,
that was all the dream.
Like my theory is that Mr. T is the ghost of Christmas Present, and that he's like showing this kid like the beauty of Christmas to get him into the Christmas spirit.
You know what I would love? If this was going on at the same time as Home Alone 2.
And then that would be fun.
I think you're off by like a decade.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want to see
it in the Christmas Future portion.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. T walks by the bandits, and they're just like icing every part of their body. And Macaulay Culkin is talking to the owner of the shop and gets the doves, and then Emmanuel Lewis like, "Can you give me something?" He's like, "No. That was my last thing. Why are you even here?
Yeah.
We didn't give you clearance."
I'm not going to teach you anything about Christmas. I get left by my parents every goddamn Christmas.
Dude, you get No, my parents left me alone twice.
Right.
Yeah, and try what happens again, kid.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, I promise you will not win this battle.
Oh, they
like,
abandoned
"Oh."
you for 8 hours? I'm so sorry. That must be awful. This is my second year.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's fine. When I get bored, I get a little weird and violent. I hope that's fine.
You got to meet some nice friends. I have robbers trying to kill me again.
Right. Yeah.
No, the person I talk to is covered in pigeons in Central Park. Do you know? Do you know that smell?
Oh, so they get to the party halfway through. I forgot the pacing of this thing because the second half of this is just the prepping and showing the party.
Yes, and I do think that the most unrealistic part of this is the lead singer of a show helping stagehands.
Yeah, that never.
Never.
You don't get a baby grand in your dressing room and
Yeah.
talk to the help.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a
And
thing.
hand them ornaments. No way.
No.
And they were very proud of that line about stagehands.
Oh, they were.
Yes.
They had audience laughter.
Yes. Oh my
One
God.
laugh track.
One
Yes.
laugh track.
That was so confusing because earlier after the Rockettes, they actually had like audience applause,
Yeah.
but he immediately wakes up. So you're like,
Right.
oh, he just dreamed of like the applause. But now while he's awake, they have actual laugh track. What?
For one joke.
For a single joke.
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's I also love that Mr. T screams, wake up, you gotta go, we gotta get to the party, and they're still setting up the party. I'm like, you
Right.
don't need it.
Yeah.
What? Let him nap. He's had a weird day.
Yeah.
They're just
He's having his
setting up. What
Christmas
are you doing?
dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get there and they have, I think, kids setting up because I guess everyone else abducted some children too.
No,
Yeah.
it's stagehands.
Stagehands,
The
okay,
child
yeah.
laboring stagehands.
That's what
Right.
it is. Yeah.
Yes.
And Maureen is there and other people are there and she starts singing again.
Of course.
For a very
And-
long time.
Yeah, I wrote it's scatting. I wrote why is she singing sound effects? But yeah, that's what scatting is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in the middle of it, after they all stopped working, what I imagine happened is the stage manager screamed, "Hey, did I tell you could stop?" And then they immediately all start working at the
Yes.
same time,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yes. And yeah, she once again stares directly into our souls as she sings creepy songs you shouldn't sing to an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
I think she just shouldn't be around 8-year-olds.
I
Well,
don't think she should be
yeah,
around anybody.
Yeah.
She clearly is not supposed to be around children because she then still harasses this poor kid about what song he loves and then makes him perform it in front
Yes.
of everyone sitting there ready to watch.
It's
Yeah,
like the
okay.
piano scene in the movie we watched
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes. It brought back the exact same kind of memory,
It was horrible.
especially when the kid is like, he gets a dance break near the end for some reason when
Yeah.
he clearly cannot dance and was
No.
not really given choreography.
So he's like
So you just kind of see him like,
box
walking.
stepping or
Yeah.
like I don't know what to do with my hands. But okay, a latchkey kids get kidnapped by Mr. T, taken to FAO Schwartz, where David Copperfield's blows smoke in your face, and then you have a weird dream about ventriloquist dolls and the Rockettes. Fine, believable, but there is not anything that can convince me that someone's favorite Christmas song is Santa Claus is Coming to
Yes.
Town.
yeah,
Thank you.
What?
yeah,
No one.
what a kid.
No one in
No
the
one.
entire
No one.
world
Right.
would be like, yes, all of these Christmas songs that exist, this is the one. This is the one that I enjoy in a positive way above all others.
Right.
And he said it was because he performed it in a show in school, and no one who performs a song in a show still likes that song afterwards.
True.
Yeah,
True.
absolutely.
But
Especially when it's like an elementary school show.
Yeah, but it is
Right.
only performed at elementary school plays. There's no
Yes.
other circumstance where
Yeah.
that song should be performed.
Right.
There are, unless it's like a Bruce Springsteen concert at Christmas.
Sure.
Oh, I was thinking like a Michael Bublé like jazzy version where he barely uses the lyrics.
I did actually perform it at a part of the Mighty Mighty Boston show. But
Who are you?
Yeah, he does a dance break where it's like walking around.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I feel like not only did the character not want to perform that, the actor did not want to perform that.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Because he
don't-
looks terrified while he's doing it.
There was no one in that room that wanted that to happen.
Yeah.
And the
Least of all
adults are just
him.
like staring. They're not even
That-
charmed.
yeah,
Mhm.
I can't, like, there is nothing more horrifying than being asked to perform a Christmas song or any song in the middle of just a bunch of adults that are staring like that at you. Like, it is awful.
Especially after that other lady, like, scat and bebopped her way, like, down the stairs.
Yeah.
And, she definitely is very full of herself, but she's also still a very good singer. And it's
upsetting.
It's really rude for her to be like, see, anyone can sing, and then like sings a perfect thing, and then it's like, see, you sing something. It's so easy. See how easy I made it. Please, you sing something now. Like, fuck you.
I dare her to say that to Mr. T.
Yeah, exactly.
We kept being like, is he about to sing? Is this about to happen?
Is he gonna do it?
We really thought.
Oh my god.
That's all I wanted.
Oh,
yes.
If we sat through that, and then he just sang one note, it would have been worth it. Like,
just Jingle Bells. I just want Jingle Bells. That's it.
Give him 3 notes.
I don't need much.
I don't want a lot for Christmas, just Mr. T singing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The original lyrics.
Yes.
Yes. They changed it from Mariah Carey.
Exactly.
Oh, that would have made the special if Mr. T just broke into song.
Yeah.
I did really want that.
Yeah.
Like, desperately.
I was really waiting for it. Because, I mean, the final scene is him with the boys' choir just talking about, like, Jesus getting born, I guess.
Okay, you're
like,
omitting
half, like, conducting the choir.
You're omitting a very important person who was also there, and that was the ventriloquist dummy bouncing up and down in the background.
Yeah.
Directly into the camera for no reason.
Well, because he always has to have access to your soul.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
He always has to be like ready to steal it in a moment.
It's that moment from the second Wonder Woman, where if you're like on TV, you're technically touching everyone,
right?
And that's how the ventriloquist gets his power.
Right.
Mr. T, when the party starts and Mr. T is, I guess, the host of the party, he just keeps going like this the whole time. He's not really conducting anybody. He's just like that old man in church who just keeps going like this the whole time.
So, okay. As someone who has like acted and stuff, I do feel bad watching people's hands because it's very stressful as an actor, like knowing what to do with your hands.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help it with Mr. T because everything he was doing with his hands gave me such cringy anxiety. Because as he's going through it, he's either like rubbing his hands talking about Jesus, or he's like conducting the choir like he actually knows what he's doing.
Well, I think he was high this entire time.
I hope so.
Because like, one, even if he wasn't, is this his first time acting in anything where he didn't have a prop?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, when you have a prop, you can just, just hold it.
Right.
But he just has to be very aware of himself and his body.
He should have kept the bell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
The whole time. It wasn't working anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So he goes, he talks for a long time and says pretty much nothing. What was his obsession with? I never heard anyone talk about the baby smiling. He's like, I looked through historical records. It's like, what historical records are you reading?
Oh, that's what I wrote. I wrote historical records.
Scholars talking about it.
Like what? Who?
Professors ruminating on it.
He says, I have never heard a song that mentions it. I never heard a song.
Right.
The last line of The Little Drummer Boy is, then he smiled at me.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never made it all the way through The Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah, I can't get to the end.
I can't.
But
I'll take your word for it.
I did make the note, why does Mr. T think Jesus smiled as he was born? He was cold, covered in goo. Of course he's not smiling.
He came out into some hay.
Right.
He was probably like
ugly animals.
Yeah. Right. Covered in animal farts. Like, why would he be smiling?
I just came out and there are 3 men. One of them's holding myrrh. What the fuck? I don't need myrrh.
Well, we probably shouldn't complain about that to Colin specifically.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I've gotten that joke all my life. Don't worry.
Be careful of our audience.
I genuinely didn't make that connection, and I'm so sorry. What I'm saying is that baby Jesus was upset upon seeing you.
That guy's making clothes for me. What do I need a tailor for? Okay.
Right. Oh gosh. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I gotta get one too.
Oh,
why is Cher singing here?
That's what I do.
Has to be fair.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair. No,
Yeah.
it's deserved. It's
Yes.
deserved.
Yeah, and then finally the parents show up, which is good that I guess they got in contact with and said, "Hey, we have your child. Pay X amount
I
of money."
think they just,
The fact,
followed up about the missing persons report.
but the fact they showed up there happy in any kind of way makes no sense at all.
And also
The
didn't
fact-
immediately intervene.
They
They
they should have been
songs.
knocking people off of the stairs, like on their way down to their child with the random stranger who kidnapped him. Why are they just sitting there like, oh, this is adorable?
And he was
they
sitting
have him
on
captive.
Maureen McGovern's lap.
Yeah.
But then he moves to Mr. T's lap.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
it's fine. He's free to go about the room.
Man.
So
As long
creepy.
as it's near a lap.
Yeah. Then they pick him up, put him down immediately.
Right.
Like if Mr. T was still Santa, okay, he's on his lap. Sure, that's less creepy.
Nope.
Right.
Just
Well,
a guy in a suit.
if he was sitting on his lap, yes, but instead he's like resting his arms on his leg, and that felt
That
so
is
much
somehow
worse.
worse.
To
Yeah. that is
Mr.
Yeah.
T
somehow
was
worse.
worried about what to do with his legs, so he's like, just lay against it.
me. Right.
Yeah.
Cover for me, kid.
Also, what was that speech that he gave to the kid, being like, you know what's Merry Christmas? Your mom and dad are
Yes.
alive, happy. You know
Yeah.
what's bad? No love, bad. Sharing,
Yeah.
bad. Guns, bad. I don't know what else he said. I
Right.
just thought of Mr. T when.
He did love really long lists.
Yeah,
He went
Yeah.
through a couple.
but also like Emmanuel Lewis's whole thing in the beginning was like, they only got me a gift because they have to. They don't actually love me. And then Mr. T's like, yeah, no love. That's what makes things bad. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, you're rubbing it in his face.
You know what's a gift? Waking up with your parents alive.
I'm like, all right, Jesus.
So
Yeah.
aggressive.
Maybe he was like threatening to kill his parents if he didn't have a good time.
Right.
That was kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
I felt like it was more like, if you don't appreciate this, then we'll take you away from your parents.
And
Like
make you
we
join this
have.
choir.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Either give me $1 or you never see your parents again.
took the dollar.
Yeah.
He
They made a
took
bet at the
dollar.
beginning. Yeah, they made a bet at the beginning
I
of
know.
$1 saying, I can make you enjoy Christmas. And he's like, sure, you're on. And at the end, he makes them
Right.
pay up.
He
Yeah.
actually took the dollar from presumably a kid aged 6 to 8.
Right.
Like you don't, a bet's a bet, kid. Learn early.
Yeah.
Pay up. And then like with the box office ventriloquist doll, he's like, that kid's about to lose $1. Like, oh,
Yes.
you're thinking about this. Your whole goal was just getting $1 from this kid.
Hmm.
That's an hour of work back in 1984 Street Santa pay.
Who and the parents are like watching him take $1 from the kid.
Yeah.
That's weird
These
too.
poor working class parents are losing $1 because their dumb kid made a bet.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, a kid doesn't like Christmas presents? Wow.
Right.
What a bet to lose.
I mean, to be fair, when David Copperfield asked him if he liked anything in FAO Schwartz, he was like, no.
That's true. Which is
So
a wonderful advertisement for FAO Schwartz. Do you like
Yeah.
anything here? No, it's all shit. all
FAO
terrible.
Schwartz, thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Do you smoke? Nah. No, I could spend money here, but here, take this quarter and burn it.
Right.
At least, I can't believe it. In David Copperfield's defense, he gave the money he stole back.
That's true.
Yeah, he slipped it back in that little kid's pocket.
Right.
But Mr. T's like, nope, I'm keeping this.
Like, no.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
it's like, did you get
$1.
your what you wanted for Christmas? And he said, yes.
And he has $1.
He held up the dollar. It's what he wanted. I want Emmanuel Lewis's money for
Yeah.
Christmas. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, my thinking was that they're trying to perform a ritual to get him into a ventriloquist doll and switch personalities.
Oh, yes.
Okay, because he meets a magician first who lures him in to a state of trance. Then he meets the ventriloquist doll, and then Maureen McGovern just sucks his soul.
Right.
The Mr. T doll is actually Mr. T trapped in the
In the
body of
doll,
a doll.
yeah.
And that's
And
why
then
he's
it's
in
the
such
only
a
way to
trance
break the
state.
curse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why Mr. T is so subdued. And when Emmanuel Lewis is dancing, it kind of feels like a wooden Pinocchio kind of thing because he's already
He does.
turning into
He also fell asleep during the Rockettes thing. Doesn't
Yes.
mean that he ever actually woke up. The rest of the dream could be inside the doll while the doll lives out his normal life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, I think the only part of the like obvious advertisement that got any positive review were the two skaters.
That's what I was thinking.
Because the skaters got applause. Everything else was Emmanuel Lewis adamantly not liking it, yawning, or just being like, no, this isn't for me.
Right.
This isn't my deal. I'm a Scrooge.
Yeah.
It'd be like if at the end of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch, instead of giving the toys back, just like, here's $1.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you guys are right. Here's $1. I'm gonna go.
This is okay. Here's $1.
Right.
No, $1 that you all split.
Yeah.
Buy some roast beefs.
Oh my God.
How many people do you think watched this to the end in the 80s?
The advertisers.
Yeah, definitely the advertisers. Yes. So we actually watched it. I think the version you sent us has ads.
Yeah, I intentionally sent the one with ads because I hadn't seen it.
Oh man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Getting those 80s ads was incredible.
I love it. The He-Man.
They had
He-Man. They had so many women cleaning.
They had better smelling bleach.
Yeah, where they were like literally smelling the bleach.
And so many 1984 references.
Yes.
Because of the year. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My favorite was drinking and driving can kill a friendship. It's like, what?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Just randomly thrown in there.
Just like a Christmas wreath, like thousands of people are going to miss Christmas this year because they refuse to not drink and drive. Like, wow, that was a tone shift.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about M&Ms.
Yeah.
The ads were great.
Yeah.
Also that He-Man toy like genuinely looks really fun.
We should probably look that up.
I don't know.
Well,
we should, but it's
the ads are also simple back then. It's like just one guy who's not even a good actor talking for 30 seconds.
Right. Well, we watch old Family Feud and old Price is Right pretty regularly, and a lot of like the older kind of things have so much more of like a narrative structure to their commercials a lot of the time, where it's like people talking to each other or like a situation getting set up, where now it's just like crazy stuff happening, like goo is pouring out of the sink and they're like, oh, what do I do? And they like have a special soap that like gets rid of the goo. And I don't know, commercials are just so much more insane now. We don't need to talk about it.
Oh, no, no. What I was going to talk about was how you were, of all the things we saw today, I think the biggest reaction you got was the ad that featured a blue sink.
Oh, yes. I was blown away by the idea of a blue sink in someone's home. That was mystifying to me.
Ventriloquism, creepy magicians.
Nah.
Marine
Mr. T in plain clothes.
Right.
Mr. T,
Ed
Mr.
Koch.
T.
A blue sink. Too
a talking
far.
cat.
I was like, what? Why? How did that get you?
I have no idea, but it was just such an offhanded thing that like I didn't realize would take me so by surprise. Because I was like, when's the last time you've seen a blue sink?
It's not something
or any type of colored sink.
I've seen them in my life. It's not a thing I've thought about actively.
Yeah, exactly. You got white and silver, and that's kind of it.
I mean, obviously not. I had a pink sink.
What?
In my house.
Have you watched Let's Make a Deal from the 70s and 60s? There were some ugly colored sinks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All of that. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Well, also when Price is Right would give like a whole kitchen set as like the showcase thing.
Yeah.
With like a bright orange theme.
Right.
Love it. I love it. It's so tacky and wonderful.
I mean, I always wanted the theme of my kitchen to be Fanta. Yeah. That's what my kitchen was really missing.
And what was with the creepy Santa Claus in every commercial? Like every NBC commercial, like the same guy's like, make sure to watch NBC this year, kids. Like, go away.
Oh,
yeah.
But he would also laugh, but not in a ho ho ho.
No.
He would just ha! I'm like, what?
Also, now that I think of it, Mr. T as Santa never did a ho ho ho.
No.
He never did any sort of Santa related gesture.
He was only in a Santa suit for like a minute. I don't even think
he said Merry Christmas.
He never said Merry Christmas.
In a Christmas special.
No.
That's so weird.
He would get fired as a street Santa.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
For chasing down people who didn't donate.
And for kidnapping children.
That too.
That's usually bad.
Usually bad, though. I think one would require more immediate action. The chasing down people.
Oh, chasing down people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be easier to stop.
That might be a more obvious stop.
Right.
Yeah. So for any Christmas special, I have this thing where we suggest some alternate titles because usually Christmas special titles are not very accurate, and this one was definitely not accurate because The Dream is barely any of it. So do you have any alternate titles for this?
I don't know about an alternate. Well, definitely I'll think of some alternate titles as we're talking. Yeah. But I want a spin-off where Mr. T has to teach Emmanuel Lewis how to skateboard.
Yeah, I would like that. I mean, my only alternate title is 1877 Scrooge for Kids. It's the only one I can come up with.
I have one, and it's I Pity the Yule.
Oh God.
Oh.
That's so upsetting.
Oh my God, that's horrible. I can only think of Latchkey Kids in the Hall, which doesn't make any sense.
David Copperfield's evidence video #1.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it was just one of those like 80s variety shows. So I feel like they just sort of came up with a plot after they already got the people that they wanted in it.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to even think of like what any of the characters really like did or mattered for any reason.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't think they got the people they wanted. I think they got the second or third choice.
For sure.
Honestly, I think what happened was these people got called back for the Muppet Show, and then they were like, "We got another thing that we think you'd be great for, but you're not going to be on Muppets."
Right.
There are puppets in it, though.
I was about to say, but they probably already have too many. You know, if they had 2 more puppets encroaching in on the Muppet territory.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the reporting structure would just be madness.
Yeah.
It's just it's one box office. You can't have that many puppets reporting under each other. There's no need.
I do feel like it could have been fairly easy to convince some of these people though, because each scene was clearly just like a day, maybe even an afternoon of shooting.
Yeah, there were no retakes.
Alternate title is Christmas is for Dummies.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah.
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 I think that's the real title.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be the real title. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other question is, does it fall under so bad it's good? I would say we got a lot good laughs out of it, so probably counts.
I would say yes. However, if there is a version out there that had better quality, because the version that we saw was just difficult enough to listen to that it kind of took you out of it.
Yeah.
Because
not to mention the facial expressions were really hard to see a lot.
We need a remaster. This is what we're saying.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not a movie where you should have to pay attention.
Well, we need a Snyder cut, really.
True.
We need a 4-hour-long version of this movie split into different parts.
God.
What would happen in the extended cut?
I want an Inception of the Christmas Dream where after they kill all the Rockettes, they die and have to go to the next lower version of the dream, whatever Inception is about. And then
I thought you were going to say the next layer of hell.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I was thinking it's this whole thing is the dream that Scrooge has the night of the Christmas Carol instead of the 3 ghosts visiting him. And then he just wakes up, and instead of loving Christmas, he's like, "What the fuck? What just happened? Why was there a puppet for no reason?
Why were there 2 puppets for no reason?
Right?
Did he realize that
Why
he
did
fell
that one
asleep
guy
watching
hate his haircut?
A-Teens? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Man. I would have liked if he woke up from the dream and then went downstairs to turn on the TV and saw Gary Coleman in the exact same
Oh my god.
Christmas Dream special.
Yeah. And the whole time it's just him being like, "I'm not a fucking child." It's just him being like, "Come along, little boy."
What you talking about, Jesus?
Oh man.
Oh.
I also want an extended version of all the advertisements that were in it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. They had one where they had like the GE stove microwave oven combo as like a computer command center.
Yes.
I want that movie. That's what I want.
Yeah. And they showed bits of this in between.
Yeah.
I want to see the rest of those Women's Day after they close face sniffed that bleach. I want to see what the rest of their day was like. Because that was ill-advised.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was disappointed when Susan and I watched the Paul Lynde Christmas special. Someone cut the commercials out. We want to watch this.
That's devastating.
Yeah.
Honestly, devastating.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
We were so excited to see that there were ads. We were
Yeah.
like, yes!
Yeah, I was trying to search on YouTube, and there are a couple different versions of this, and one had them and one didn't. Like, we'll watch them. And even the one
Yeah.
with the most views, it didn't have any comments that are like, "Oh, I'm so nostalgic for this." So this is a very obscure special.
Right. Well, like you said, it aired once. And back then, like if you didn't record it, there was like no way of you ever watching it again, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
It gave me Star Wars special vibes in that the
Mhm.
creators made sure every copy was destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah. Who do you think has the master of this, Mr. T?
I think he wears it around his neck in a chain for safekeeping.
Yeah.
Or like I said, maybe the New York court system. But
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, as evidence.
It's part of like the
It's part of the cop training program for preventing kidnapping. Like, this is what they do. They try to get the kid into believing in Christmas. They find an old curmudgeon disguised as a child, and they try to convince him that Christmas is magical.
I hope it's like in a Koch family vault.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. He
like,
keeps
I-
all of the recordings of himself
in a
one place.
file labeled my acting career.
Right.
I think he's dead now.
Oh no.
I wasn't sure
guess.
which.
Yeah,
which
I think he
one it
died a couple
was.
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I knew one of them died, but I wasn't sure which one was in it.
Dinkins did too.
Oh, really? They
Oh,
both
okay.
did? Oh,
Dinkins is the one who wasn't terrible in between all the terrible ones.
Oh, got it. So Giuliani's still
He's still alive, which is
He's about as alive as Mr. T was in this.
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
Yeah. I am astounded. Like, I haven't seen many other things with Mr. T. Is he actually supposed to be like a good actor?
I
I assume he's not an actor, he's just Mr. T.
he's a presence.
Right.
Yeah, they cast him on the assumption that you're just like, oh, that's Mr. T. I like him.
Right. Like, I think it's the same reason people cast Will Smith, is like they don't really care about the character. They're just like, we just want Will Smith to be
Yeah,
Will
but Will Smith can act, like Pursuit of Happiness.
He has like some movies where he does well, but he's still Will Smith in those movies.
Well, do we have anything else to add about A Christmas Dream?
I mean, probably
Just
like
disappointment.
let's see. I took a page and a half of notes.
You did.
During Mr. T's monologue, they just zoomed in on Emmanuel Lewis's face the whole time, rather than having us watch Mr. T deliver a monologue. They just had us watch Emmanuel Lewis watch Mr. T.
But he was clearly very uncomfortable giving the monologue.
Oh, and everyone was clearly very uncomfortable watching him give a monologue.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen an actor like just read lines and be so stressed out about like actually memorizing those lines and saying them properly.
Do you think they were memorized or on cue cards?
I think it was a mix of both. I think they told him to memorize it, and then he got there and he was like, I don't know what to do, you guys.
Yeah, maybe they just zoomed in on Emmanuel Lewis because he was literally just reading it like that.
Yeah. Or you just pull out a book.
Yeah,
Right.
seriously. Yeah, I think that woman had in her contract that if she feels she is shown up at any point by another singer, she has to get into the spotlight and start singing an entire song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why Oh Holy Night happened, because it didn't fit elsewhere.
No, that was just a rant. The other ones were like, oh, she's singing to cheer the kid up, but no one's really cheered up by Oh Holy Night.
No.
It's fun to sing. I will say that. If you are really into the sound of your own voice, it's fun to sing.
Yeah.
But it's literally a song to put people to sleep. Like, I thought that it was going to go
Is
into
it like a lullaby?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think what makes this so bad it's good and like a decent one is that it is also mercifully short.
Yes.
Even with the ads,
I think it was like 45 minutes total.
Approximately. Like without the ads, it's probably about 45 minutes. It was clearly
Right.
an hour special.
Yeah.
I mean, the ads they add so much.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful time capsule for how ridiculous those were.
It was like watching the Super Bowl. You're watching it just as much for the show as you are for the ads.
Yeah, well, really more.
Yeah.
Because the Star Wars Holiday Special is without ads, what, 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh man. Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel maybe Mr. T watched the Star Wars special and then immediately wandered onto set, and that's why he was so disoriented.
Yes.
Because he just had to endure something that's so out of body and bizarre, and then
But this was so similar.
it was very similar.
It was the same sort of like, star performer showcase for no reason, and then it ends with a choir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
It's like the same thing.
and someone who's definitely on drugs singing.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And what might have
But-
been some kind of cult ritual. So yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But like having street background noise broke it up, having advertisements obviously broke it up, and the fact that it was shorter.
Yeah.
But like and the fact that it wasn't, in Wookiee.
Right.
For-
The fact we could understand the characters slightly better.
Mr. T and Emmanuel Lewis was a clear speaker. David Copperfield,
Yeah. But there were some parts where it was really, really garbled. It was really hard to tell what they were saying.
I'm
sometimes.
actually not convinced that little girl was meant to be in it. I don't think she was mic'd.
Right.
If she was meant to be in it, she's just someone's kid who was on set that day.
Mhm.
Because like she definitely wasn't auditioned.
Well,
like that.
my favorite part though of that scene is that he's done with the magic trick for her, and he's just like, all right, fuck off, you child, get over here now.
Yeah.
And he's just like clearly done with her. It's on to the next child. Just like cycle them through, guys.
Yeah, really great statement there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mr. T is clearly sending him multiple children a day.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's the job of a magician. You just like pump out tricks for
kids.
For shit.
1877 tricks for kids.
That's not
Silly rabbit
what I
tricks are
wanted
for
to say.
kids. Well, this was fun. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah. No, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks
A
for
lot of
having
fun
us.
to review, and we will see you on the next review. Goodbye.
I do think we're jumping ahead of it though.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for anyone watching. There's a choir.
Just
Right.
splice that in at the end.